Hey, what's going on, guys? So you've seen the old HG kit from the 90s of the Deathscythe Hell Custom. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Master-Grade Deathscythe Hell Custom here from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, of course. Now, this one is not necessarily a new model kit by any means. It came out in 2011, which means that it's been out for a little while. Most of you guys have probably already built and or at least seen this kit, many times by now. But it's one that I've had in my backlog for a few years now, and I've been meaning to build it up. And so what better time than now after we just took a look at the old original HG. Now we can compare it to the most modern kit of this design anyway that we have at the moment. So Deathscythe Hell Custom, let's go! Yeah, I may be late to the party, but like I said, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already experienced this kit already if you're a fan of the design, and it is certainly a very cool design, certainly one that is kind of very angsty sort of, but still manages to be pretty cool, I think. So here you got the Gundam in the front with the moon in the background there and that big old scythe right front and center. So really nice artwork here for the front of the box. And going around to this side, the same thing here, and you can see it's not necessarily a very thick box. A lot of the Master Grades kind of the time that were in these larger size boxes, like the Seed kits, the Seed Master Grade kits that were coming out at the time, they're putting them in these larger boxes, but like kind of thin. So just kind of very common for that time. It's a good chance to show off some more box art, right? But here on the side, it's looking very much like a Master-Grade Verka release with like the text and the images and the white background, everything over here looking like a Verka, but it is a Katoki design after all, so it kind of makes sense. Images of the built and painted kit with all the decals and everything on there as well. I don't think that these kits include water slide decals. I think it's just going to be stickers and dry transfers, I believe. We'll see here in just a moment. Some more details there, including images of the painted pilot figure included as well, and the one that goes inside the cockpit, markings and all of that. Around here on the other side, a look at a display of the kit there. Action base not included, I'm pretty certain. And then some more here about like the EW redesign from the Deathscythe to the Deathscythe Hell Custom here for this one. There's some more text about the Endless Waltz story and some more about the Endless Waltz designs. Again, right there, we do have the MSRP here on the barcode because this is an older one. It's 4,500 yen. Because as you can see here on the front of the box, this is a red label. So even though I'm sure the kit has been reprinted more recently, this particular one is one that's an older printing anyway. So for the instruction manual, we've got the same box art here, just with the plain white background, which is pretty nice. I always like that about these this series of Master Grade kits from Gundam Wing. The backside, once again, has a nice big reference image there of the front and back of the built, painted, and decaled kit there. So we got the 1-point technique about panel lining, painting guide for the pilot figure, and then painting guide for the main kit. On the front inside page of the manual, we've got more about the new mobile report W. Again, just kind of showing the like a TV versions of the Deathscythe to the Deathscythe Hell, and then like the Katoki Deathscythe design to the Deathscythe Hell Custom design here. So that's pretty cool. You got more about the Gundam W story playback here, about the story of the series and the story of Endless Waltz. It also features the different kind of character designs for the series and the movie as well there for Duo Maxwell. Pretty cool. Then getting along here in the manual, we've got our parts list and all that, and all of the construction, but it looks like maybe here on the center pages we've got some more cool stuff. Yeah, a whole other big section here about Gundam W, another aspect, and everything's going to be in Japanese, but some cool information there about Operation Meteor. More about this is the Endless Waltz Frozen Teardrop, I believe, the comic series, or it's just the manga version of Endless Waltz. I think Frozen Teardrop. Oh, here's about Frozen Teardrop over here. I was gonna say it's just a novelization, so it's just a novel, and there's like some illustrations in it throughout. But there's also the manga available of Endless Waltz as well. So publications if you guys want to check those out. And then yeah, some more images and information about the kit. It looks like there. And I think that's going to be kind of about it until you get to the very end. Here is going to be our decal guide on the back inside page right there where all the decals are going to go. And as for the decals, it looks like I was right. We have some foil stickers for the eyes and a couple little camera bits. So just a few of those. We've got a sticker decal sheet here, most of them being in white, but a couple of those being in red. And then some dry transfer decals here, which are in like an off-white kind of color as well. I'm pretty sure that some official waterslide decals from Bandai are available for this kit. Alternatively, I'm certain that there's like third-party decal sets you can get if you wanted to get some waterslide decals. But all right, for the runners then, here we've got some Polycaps PC205 in gray. And then here in gray ABS plastic, we've got our generic Gundam Wing frame runners XA here for some of the parts of the frame, and then 2 copies of runner XB for some of the frame parts for in the arms and the legs. Runner A here is going to be in 3 colors, mostly in that very dark gray, a couple of clear parts right here, and then a couple of yellow parts over there. Runner B is in a kind of medium gray color there for the handle of the scythe and a couple other little accent bits. Runners C1 and C2 in a lighter, more purplish gray color here. C2 being a copy of this half of the runner over here. Our pilot figures are also molded on this runner here. Runner D then, some more parts of the armor in that very dark gray color. And then we've got a few smaller runners here. Runner E is going to be our clear green part for the scythe, which is great that this is in clear green, not like the old HG 144 scale version where this was in yellow, unfortunately. Then runner F we have 2 of. These are some parts here in just a straight up black. We've got 2 of those. We've got some red parts here on runner G1, and then on runner G2 we have a few little accent bits here in a lighter purplish gray color. Runners H and I are some more ABS gray frame parts here, but these ones are going to be the ones that are specific for this particular release. So we've got those there. Runner J here is going to be a few parts that we've got there in white. And then runners K and L here in black are our parts for the wings. So some much larger parts here. And these wing parts right there on this really large runner here on runner, actually it's L1 and L2. You can pop these apart there in the center to separate those, but these are going to be our main wing parts. And that's it for the runners. Let's go ahead and get this built up and check out the kit. Alright guys, and here is the kit all built up. It was a fun build and certainly a very fast build, not only just because it's not necessarily the most complex MG out there, but I built it quite speedily on the live stream. If you guys missed that, you can go back and check out the live build here of this guy. But a very cool kit, really solid, definitely an improvement over the old 144 scale HG kit, which we did take a look at, and we'll take a look at again here in just a moment just to compare the two. But certainly got a very iconic look to it with those big massive bat wings there on the back. And just some really cool styling to it. Definitely a fan favorite Gundam for a good reason. It's quite the unique design and a lot to like about this kit, I think. So let's go ahead and take a look here, starting off with the accessories, which we don't have too many of, but we'll start there and then we'll take a closer look at the kit. So first of all, we do have our action base adapter that'll clip up underneath the waist section. Going to be useful for getting this up in aerial poses. And then we've got our 1/100 scale figure here, standing pilot figure with base of Duo Maxwell. There is a pilot figure inside the cockpit as well. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Then we've got our hand options. So they are just going to be swappable fingers. We've got an option for having closed fists here. 2 different types of holding hands. You can see the fingers is going to be slightly different. One has a tab in the fingers and the other one does not, for holding different types of weaponry. And then we've also got a set of open outstretched fingers here like this for open hands, and you've got all these for both the left and the right side. And lastly, and most importantly, of course, we've got his scythe, which is going to be the main and kind of only real major accessory other than those few little bits right there that you saw. So the scythe looks awesome, nice long handle here. It's grooved all the way down with a couple of breaks here and there, but you can see the hand parts that had the tab on the inside of the finger is going to fit right into there, so it should hold this pretty well. The green beam effect part here looking very cool, measuring to about 14.5 centimeters long, which is probably taller than most HG kits. On that note, actually this is as good as time as any to take a look at the 2 of these kits here side by side. You can see just how small and simple the HG looking in comparison. Also the difference in color. I mean, the dark gray, almost black color is going to be almost the same. The white and the red, obviously, but that medium gray color is going to be much more purplish here on the MG. And also, yeah, so our blade for the MG going to be much larger than the Gundam itself and correctly molded in the right color, which is nice. But the other thing to notice, as I was saying in the review of the HG kit, is that, I mean, it's not at all bad looking compared to the MG. Is definitely going to be looking much better, but certainly for the only 144 scale version that we currently have available, it's not awful. As far as just the base kit here goes, we do have stickers for the head camera there at the top, the eyes, this little green sticker there for the front of the crotch. On the back side of the head too, there's another foil green sticker right there. That's it for the stickers. So of course we do also have those marking decals too, if you wanted to use those. And then as far as any seam lines that this kit has, it really doesn't have any. It's designed very nicely so that anywhere where there would be a seam, it's either covered up by another part, like here for the white parts on the shoulders. That was 2 parts that are sandwiched together, so you might have a little bit of a seam like here at the very end, but then this top part goes over the top of that to cover that up. Here on the head, the kind of seam between the front and back parts of the head is kind of made up as just a panel line detail right there, and that's the same for the lower legs right here, depending on whether you want to count that as a seam or not. Here on the lower leg and also on the thighs, The seam between the two parts does seem to be designed in a way just to look like a natural seam between the armor panels, so I maybe wouldn't really worry too much about that. You're going to have some nasty mold lines here and there, like in particular on these bicep parts, but the nice thing is those bicep parts are just made as one solid piece, so there's no seam line that you have to worry about removing, but you're just going to have to sand the mold line out of there. Not too bad. Otherwise, the part separation, everything on this, really quite nice. And the cockpit does open up. You just push this part down here, and you can pull that cockpit open. And inside there is going to be hard to see, but our seated pilot figure is up inside of there. Some nice details for these red bits there in the chest vents, and also up here on the top of the torso, those light gray parts there, looking very nice. And then these wings do separate out into a couple of sections here so that you are able to move these around to close up around the front of the Gundam. Just to give you a look at kind of that from the back side, here's how those look sort of spaced out there like so. This first extension here actually just will allow the wings to fold back, like if you wanted to have it look like it was like flying or in some sort of like pose where the wings are back like that. Actually, for closing the armor around the body, it's this second joint here, which is going to extend out and then fold around the front. These red fans, of course, we're going to fold those down. And then once you have this closed around the front, then you're going to push that back in to kind of close that up. These white parts here on the side, they're kind of tight, but these actually are going to pull up and to like release them. And then those can fold down here as well. And then these parts at the front actually like slide together to lock closed there like that. And there we go. There we've got the cloak closed up around the Gundam like so. Pretty cool looking for sure. As far as the articulation goes, I'll just demonstrate that here for you guys as we take a look at some posing, because basically it's going to be pretty standard modern master grade extent as far as the articulation goes. So let's go ahead and try out some poses. And one thing I should also mention, guys, too, that action base adapter can also be attached at the base of the backpack, which is really nice. So depending on how you want the kit posed, especially when you have kits that have a quite heavy backpack, it can be hard to have it up on action base. Sometimes the backpack can still be weighing the kit back. So depending on how you want to pose the kit, definitely try to take advantage of being able to plug the action base connection into the base of the backpack rather than the base of the hips. You might find that easier depending on how you want it to look. So obviously with this one, we've got a really cool looking kit and really nice range of posing options that you can do with them. You are a bit limited in the fact that it basically just has like its one main weapon, and that's kind of just about it. That's definitely one reason why I really liked the Rosette version of this kit. It kind of just had like more stuff, but of course it didn't have these cool big black bat wings that this one has. So definitely, if that's what you wanted, that's what you liked about this design anyway, the Deathscythe design, is a really nice kit. That said, if you are able to find it for a reasonable price, the Rosette version is pretty nice as well. That being a P Bandai Master Grade, I don't know how easy it is to find at the moment, and it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive, of course. But that's another one that I would certainly recommend for you guys. That said, this one's really awesome. It has been out for quite a while, so a lot of you guys probably already have this kit. You've already built it. I heard from some people while I was doing the live build that for a number of people mentioned that this was like their first kit or one of their first kits that they ever built. So this is not going to be anything new, but if it's one that you've been maybe considering getting for a long time, you've kind of had your eye on it and you thought, yeah, it's something that I want to get eventually, I would say definitely pick it up if you get the chance. It's pretty reasonably priced MG as well, so you can usually pick it up, for a really good price, and I would say it's definitely worth it. It's definitely going to be one that's going to stand out in your collection with those big wings like that. It's quite a unique feature that is not going to be shared by many other kits in your collection, I would say. So really cool kit here, and also just the way that it's designed. I really like how it's designed with pretty much no seam lines on it. The only thing that's really going to take a little bit of work, I would say, if you are planning on painting the kit, is on the wings, on both the inside and the outside, with the front and the back of the wings. You can see quite a bit of like sinks in the plastic, and if you're planning on painting it, I would just recommend, just make sure you give those wing parts a good sanding on the front and the back side, putty if needed. I don't think it's anything that severe, but you're definitely going to want to sand those pretty well to get the sinks out of the plastic. It is probably going to be noticeable with paint on there. So that's just about going to do it for this review, guys. If you want to check out some more Gunpla for yourself, check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. Got all sorts of great stuff there for you guys to check out. And as always, thanks so much for all of your support. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like, making sure that you're subscribed, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Until next time, hope you all have a great day. See y'all later. Bye-bye.